Weather coverage you can count on with Chief Meteorologist Kate McKenna and the Wave 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network.
That same storm system spawning what will likely be multiple tornadoes. We've had at least multiple tornado warnings. We'll have to wait for those storm surveys to be completed in Texas to actually know for sure how many tornadoes touch down. But that same storm system is heading towards North Alabama. Now, the severe risk is higher farther toward the southwest. Here's what we are expecting. Heavy rain at the top of the list, likely causing flooding. We can also see damaging wind, 60+ mile-per-hour wind gusts within any severe storms. And then the potential for 1 or 2 tornadoes. That's something that is looking maybe a little more likely with some of the more recent data that we are looking at this evening. I told you that the risk is higher farther southwest. That dark red color that you see, that's a level 4 out of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. That's the moderate risk. And it does decrease the farther north you go, but all of North Alabama, sparing a sliver there of Lincoln, Jackson, and DeKalb counties, is under that marginal risk. Just know, though, that this still may be adjusted, so check back in with meteorologist Carson Meredith in the morning for an update to this severe outlook map. The Wave 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network giving us a quiet picture right now, but if you do look farther toward the west, we've got a thin line of showers there right along the Mississippi and West Tennessee. The bulk of the action here with all of the severe thunderstorms, the tornado warnings, still about 350 miles away from the Mississippi-Alabama line. It's going to take its time tracking across Louisiana and Mississippi as we go through tonight into the first half of your Tuesday. Right now, Decatur, though, showing that mostly cloudy sky, 62 degrees, a very mild night, and it's going to stay that way. Temperatures only dropping into the mid-50s at the coolest, and we hold on to that mostly cloudy sky. The wind starts picking up. Tomorrow, it's gusting up to 40 miles per hour out of the south-southeast, so that's going to help pump in that warmer air, that more humid air. We'll be topping out in the mid to upper 70s. We'll stay cloudy, but the clouds really won't matter when it comes to the kind of environment that we're going to have tomorrow for that potential for severe weather and, of course, flooding. So watch what happens as we go through tonight, all the way into tomorrow morning, waking up to a dry picture here. It's not any different by noon, but as we start to get closer to 2, 3 o'clock, look at the line of storms here approaching the shoals. They continue to race eastward. Something that I see in this data source that we weren't seeing earlier this evening is that thunderstorm activity ahead of this main line. So what I would expect is a very intense line of storms here, perhaps with that embedded tornado risk and the straight line wind threat. 5 o'clock, that's approaching the I-65 corridor, continuing to slowly track eastward. There's 8:30, now all the way to 11 o'clock. Even once that leading edge tracks into Georgia, we are still dealing with very heavy rain through the rest of tomorrow night into very early Wednesday morning. And finally, aside from some lingering showers by 7 o'clock Wednesday, we're done with the heavier rain. Here's a more precise look at the timeline. Storms arriving between 3 and 5 in the shoals, 5 and 7 p.m. along the I-65 corridor. Northeast Alabama storm arrival between 7 and 9 o'clock. And this is something that I don't show very often, but this is the risk for excessive rainfall, specifically talking about the risk for flash flooding. You'll see that that risk is higher. Basically for our southwestern counties, that's a level 3 out of 4 when it comes to the risk for flash flooding tomorrow. And you'll see why that risk is higher farther southwest, 2 to 3 inches locally, higher amounts possible. It's cause for the flood watch that starts at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon and lasts until 7 o'clock Wednesday morning. And then we've got a wind advisory to account for those gusts up to 40 miles per hour. That starts at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and that's for all of North Alabama. 7-day forecast, it is much quieter once all of this moves out. Meantime, please check back in tomorrow morning with meteorologist Carson Meredith for an update on that severe threat and that flooding threat.